The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
All right, welcome everybody. We have another great show tonight, and Krelbar will not be joining us tonight, so the show just went up another notch. Thank you. I hope Krell's watching.
Can't hear anything.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm muted. Give me a second.
All righty.
I'm still muted from work.
Okay. Ricky Compton, that guitar. Oh, yeah. Now,
can everyone hear me?
I hear you.
There we go. Okay, I was muted from work. We have to keep everything, quiet.
Yeah.
Where's Krelbar?
Krelbar said he had plans this evening. He was like, "Hey, can you switch it?" I'm like, "No, I had a million things to do today. I wasn't going to switch things around."
I guess it's just us. Where's Dane?
I know Jerry's here. We're going to bring him in right now.
All right.
Dane will be here. He always comes in like usually within the first 5 minutes. And here's Jerry. Welcome, Jerry.
Hola. How are you?
And today we have a list, and I brought up a second list that I have in front of me here. But in the chat, gents, if you look in the chat, there's the list that Joe sent, and we'll talk about that shortly in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
You see that now, Joe? Okay. And a couple of things I just want to talk about today before we get started with anything. Here comes Zim now, and Dane is here. And we have 4. Excellent.
How you going? There we go.
Hey guys.
Now, I don't know what you guys are watching on YouTube at all, but do any of you guys follow poker?
No.
So the Hustler Casino is a casino in Los Angeles. I frequented it many times and played cards. And they have a live stream. And on this live stream, there was an event that happened, I think it was last week, where this girl and guy were in a hand together. And she made a ridiculous call. And people accused her of cheating. What really surprised me about everything is the way people were dancing around the fact that they said she was cheating. They were like, it's 50%, it's 60%. So let me tell you what happened. The guy in the hand had 7-8. She had Jack 4. He's got an open-ended straight. He's betting into her. He raises on the turn. Let me just get to the important stuff. He raises and puts her all in for like over $100,000 in chips. And she calls with nothing. But she's ahead.
Got more balls than I do.
It's not about balls. She's cheated. And I'm going to say it right here on this show. 100%, no question in my mind, she cheated. A couple of days later, it comes out there's a guy working for them who gets fired for doing stuff and stealing chips. Also, I mean, there's just so many things that went on during this thing. I just want to say, I just can't stand the society we live in today where the obvious facts are there and everyone's like, well, we can't be certain. No, if you call with Jack high, you call, not you raise. You're not in the position to raise. You're calling with Jack high, Jack rag. It was a Jack 4. You're calling with Jack 4 over $100,000 of your own personal money. And that's a whole other thing, too, because she was being staked by another player in the game. And that was never brought out to anybody. I mean, to me, that's collusion. If somebody's backing you in a game and not everybody at the table knows, that's collusion. Anyways, I don't know if you guys are all into poker much, but that's what was bothering me this week, that people aren't just coming out saying she cheated. There's one guy, and I think he's from Massachusetts. I forget his name. He's a poker guy. He basically says she's cheating. Everybody else is like, well, I mean, it's like, no. There's no way anyone's calling Jack 4. I mean, it's the most obvious. If she had a small pair, ace, king, maybe if she read them. And just the inconsistencies in her story afterwards. If her story changed. And everyone here knows, if you guys watch, you guys are Judge Judy fans, right?
Of course.
If your story changes or you have to think of something, it's because you're lying. People that tell the truth just talk. And their story never changes.
Right.
Because they're telling the truth. You have nothing to hide.
Right.
So, in that respect, what can I say?
For me, I don't know the rules, and I wouldn't know how to cheat in poker to begin with. So,
well, it's a live. Let me explain to you. It's a live stream. It's a live stream. That means that 10 people working on the production team know everybody's cards on the table. Right? You know, because we're watching it upstairs or in another room. All I need is one rogue person, which they have. They've fired him. One rogue person all has to be in cahoots with one person at the table, and that's cheating.
She probably has one of those electronic butt plugs and beep, beep. Oh, it's a jack. Beep, beep, beep. That's a king. You know.
Yeah.
One can only hope.
Hey, Janice. Hey, Randy. So anyway, this was driving me nuts because it's what I watch on YouTube. I watch no time watching music stuff, except when Joe sends me something. And Joe sent me something last week by Jim Lill.
Play it. Let's watch it.
So let me just say this about, it's not something to play. It's a half-hour video where he basically shows that every amplifier is the same. It's so great. And then he has a tackle box filled with pedals showing how if he puts the pedals the way the drive works in an amp, and then you can't tell the difference between his pedals and the amp. It's unbelievable. And what's funny about it is he always says, but I'm just a musician. I don't know shit.
I love that. But what would I know? I'm just a performer.
I'm just a performer. And the guy's great. Anyways, I think Jim Lill has one of the best music. If you want to talk about music, like stuff that's guitar related, Jim Lill has the best channel on YouTube. Yeah. This guy's been proven every point I've made since I started my channel. Tonewood's bullshit. All the amps sound the same.
The speaker cabinets are bullshit.
Everything is bullshit. It's the player.
He built a fucking speaker cabinet out of styrofoam. And it sounded just as good as a $1,200 speaker cabinet.
It's unbelievable. And he's a great fucking player.
Oh, he's amazing.
And he plays pedal steel. Anyone that plays pedal steel, to me, awesome.
It's a beautiful
just
sound.
Awesome. Yeah. It's Lill. Jim Lill. Lill. His channel's the best.
I'll put a link to his channel. Give me a second.
You want to talk about a guy that just dispels everything you thought you knew about guitar. Like I said, the reason why I like him is every scientific thing he shows backs my point. I've been calling bullshit on it for years. When I ran a store, I was like, all this shit sounds the same. It's all the fucking same. There are guys out there playing Bugera clone amps that sound just like Marshalls for a third of the price. Yeah, there's the page right there. Jim Lill, the guy's awesome. And I'd love to get him on the show, but I probably couldn't. His channel's probably already huge. I don't even know how big his channel is.
He's got 95.7 thousand followers.
Yeah.
He'll be getting a lot more because he's been making shockwaves. I know a lot of people mention this video that another channel I saw mention this, say literally with the tag saying this guy's going to put us all out of business.
Well, the great thing about him is he calls the bullshit of how people describe certain sounds. Oh, that's beefy, and that one's bright, and he just goes and he's just like, "Here's the fucking same amp. It's the same fucking sound." Watch that video, Jerry. I implore you to watch his videos.
Certainly.
It will.
I watched that, and the first thing I had to do was make sure you knew about it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciated it because I usually catch his stuff. Yeah, he's a country player, but man, he's good, and he really just shows off. Like, I mean, seriously, like these people that like want to spend $100,000 on a Dumble, and if that's the circuit you want, go buy a Fuchs. There's no magic in these fucking amps, guys. I hate to break it to anybody. There's no magic.
Right.
If you can play, you're going to sound good playing anything. Mm-hmm. If you can't play, you're going to sound like suck on everything. It doesn't matter.
I watched another great video last night. The guy from JHS Pedals, he was doing Behringer pedals.
Yeah.
And those are those $20 plastic ones. Everyone I know owns the Super Fuzz 300 because it's one of the best fuzz pedals ever made. And he's putting them against, well, this is what this is. And he's like, well, it's a little off. I noticed when it's a digital circuit, it's a little off, but when it's analog, it's dead on. And he goes, now this one is dead on. If you want to buy this one, it's already worth several $100s, and it's hard to find.
Blackjack.
Get this one for $20. You can't go wrong, and it's true.
Yeah,
Fox. It's a Fox.
Let's see the back. Let's see the back.
That's a Blackjack 21.
Yeah. Let's see the output. Fucking tubes. What's the tubes?
That was one of his mid-priced amplifiers.
Dane, is that
very good?
What are those tubes, Dane? Are they 6V6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait till you see Jim Lill break down the tubes.
Well,
I'm telling you right now.
Dude,
it's fucking,
I just preference my personal opinion.
I'm telling you, okay. I too prefer 6v6, right. But when you watch the guy switch everything around, it's kind of like you're like, well,
right.
It's really not the tubes that we like.
Yeah. Then he took 4 pedals, put them inside of a tackle box, and replicated like a $3,000 Marshall.
Yes, Jan, he's great. I've been friends with Andy for years. I go back with Andy. I think I want to say 12, 14 years with Andy. No, the Blackjack 21 is not an expensive amp.
How much is it?
I think it's their mid-price. What are you selling it for?
Here we go. The reveal. $750.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh? Not bad. 10, 15
It's not
pounds.
that heavy. I'm going to say
15.
12 pounds.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Excellent.
So that's a 21 watt amplifier.
So Andy Fuchs, I mean, his daddy of amps is the OD2. I mean, the ODS2 is just awesome because he basically put an effects loop into the Dumble circuit. And there's a lot of guys that make great Dumble clones. Like a lot of guys make great Fender clones. I mean, Jerry has a point. Whatever amp speaks to you is the amp that speaks to you. And what Jim Lill talks about is what makes the amp the amp. And he breaks it down that it's more important of how the circuit is, how the EQ, the tone stack, and the overdrive, where that's placed, and that basically sets the tone for every amp. And he does make some great videos and make some great points. I thoroughly enjoy his stuff. But yeah, just
here we go.
Yeah. Andy's great. I believe I did a show with Andy on my show. I had a one-on-one with Andy. Great guy. Great amp maker. Great guy. Yeah. So what else has been going on? How was your week, Dane?
I had a good week.
Hold on. Let me just say this. While I'm we asked, we'll go around the horn, everybody, talk about your week while I inhale this bar.
I had a band rehearsal on Friday night, and
All
I
right.
took a 6-pack of beer with me, and so I had a good time there. And then Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m., we played at Scottsdale Harley Davidson, and we did an hour set, and I was in direct sunlight, although I had my hat on and a pair of sunglasses, and I'm up there rocking and, jamming out. And after about 6, 7 songs, and I decided it was a good idea to not eat breakfast. Just drink some water. Don't want to be all weighted down. But I mean, I ran out of steam after 8 or 9 songs, and luckily we only played 12 songs. And so it kind of kicked my ass. And then I got back to the shop here about 1 o'clock. And so it was kind of cool to do something that early in the day. It was Saturday was the very first day of Arizona Bike Week.
Woo!
So all the Harley guys are up at the Harley shop, and they're all planning their trip. And there was a Bikers for Boobies is a breast cancer awareness program that they do every year. So we participated in that. So we were the very first band of the Arizona Bike Week with Bikers for Boobies was our cause. And so that was fun. But it kicked my ass. And so I think about being in a cover band and having to play those 3 or 4 hour shows where you're there all night long. You set your own PA system. I used to do that, 8, 10 years ago all the time. And I don't think I could do it anymore. It's too much work.
It's a lot of work. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Especially if, you're working during the day.
Right.
If you could sleep until 3:30 and then go and whatever, I'm sure that you could do it. But
and we were out there, and it was
job.
probably 89 or 90 degrees or something, and I was kind of in direct sunlight for most of it. If I stood way back by the,
I can tell you, I have a huge tan.
Yeah,
yeah,
you got a lot
if
of
I was
rays, man.
way back by the drummer, I was in a little bit of shade, so I would always find myself way back next to the drummer. I'd stand back there like the guy from Styx or something,
Chuck Panazzo.
Yeah, he would stand way back in the
How
back.
about John McVie? Would John McVie hug Mick? He'd be
Yeah,
right
he
there
would
talking.
stand in the back.
Yeah.
The guy from Huey Lewis in the News with the cigarette, he'd stand back in the back.
What was that dude's name? Rocco? Something like that. Mario? Some Italian name.
Yeah.
He looked the part as well. The zoot suit and all that.
Yeah. You know what? Huey Lewis in the News, man. They kind of had their shit together there for a while.
I love that guitar player. He was great.
Chris Hayes.
Yeah, but he kind of danced between the blues and the jazz and the country and the rock and the whole thing, He gave it to you all. Very well-rounded, And I don't know who wrote for them, but, it was good. Great intros and shit. Like guitar.
Well, their first big hit, "Do You Believe in Love," that was written by Mutt Lange.
Wow.
I thought they had writers,
I think Huey wrote some of the stuff, and then also I think they they did a song by what's his face,
working for a living. They're taking
Bruce
what they're
Hornsby.
giving because I'm working for a living.
Yeah. Andrew Collins, I did play this weekend. I had a gig Saturday night at Martini's, which was great. Hey, Chris Healy. And Sunday night, I played a private after wedding party. And that was from 9 to midnight. That was a great time last night. So the woman tells me, when the food comes out, this is before anyone gets there, go make yourself a plate. I said, why do I look like I'm starving? She goes, I do want to eat. So I go, what's coming out? So she tells me lobster mac and cheese,
Oh, what the
chicken
fuck?
fingers. I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck is this? A kid's party? These
Yeah.
a wedding?
Yuck.
Turns out everybody at the wedding is stoned out of their minds, and they're all eating edibles. I'm like, well, now the food makes sense.
Okay.
So, but they did have like this one plate of seared scallops, and I'm not a big scallop guy, but I ate about 40 of them.
Yeah. That's on the
I
menu.
was like,
for you.
I'm starving. This is protein.
Grilled.
This is what I'm eating.
Yeah.
It was seared, so it was like pan seared. It was good. I was fine with it. As I've been saying, I am probably going to go on carnivore in December.
Oh, I thought you started it.
Oh no. I mean, I'm not that. Excuse me. I'm not that far off from carnivore now.
Yeah.
But I eat oatmeal every morning, and I do the lettuce with the olive oil. But carnivore is going to be extreme, so it is a challenge. I will do the 30-day challenge for it, and but I think it's going to help me get the last 10 pounds off that I want to get because
I think so.
I want to get shredded, and so I'm getting there. But it's just one of those things. And how was your week, Joe?
Yeah, just a lot of work. Today was painful. I must have slept wrong last night or something. It felt like the Incredible Hulk was kicking me in the stomach.
Oof.
But got it done. Just fucking work. Do it, get
Nice.
it done. And here I am.
Yeah. Well, today's Monday. Today I upped my cardio today. I moved the incline another number up. So it took me to 766 calories, and it was tough. It's so minor, the difference in calories, but man, I had to fight my way through it. It was brutal. Just tough. And I want to thank everybody who commented on my video and said nice things. Thanks so much. It's been a long road to lose the weight, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still going to get to my goal probably by April, but whatever. I think now you're on carnivore now, Joe, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
For how long?
It's been about a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And how are you feeling you're losing on it, other than sleep? No, I'm kidding.
I feel great.
Great.
Mentally and physically, and I feel like I was saying last week. I feel like I haven't felt this good since I was a teenager, and I don't even know if I felt this good back then.
Right. Yeah, that's what they say on it. That's what they're all saying. They say that it really does wonders for the mind and everything else. Thank you, Chris Healy. Thank you. I've been I actually set up a guy's guitar today. A friend of mine that I grew up with, his son plays guitar, and messaged me yesterday. Could he drop his guitar off? I said, yeah, swing by. So he dropped his guitar off, and I said, come by tomorrow, because I figured I'd do it sometime today. And I did. And I thought it was going to be less work than it was. I thought I was just needed relief in the neck. But when I gave the neck relief, I realized the bridge was all, as we say in Yiddish, it was all verkackt. So I had to adjust his bridge, and then it played fine. It was a nice guitar, and now I'm helping him look for an amplifier. And
of what variety?
He wants a Marshall head, and he was looking at a DSL. And for the price that he wanted to get the DSL, I showed him on Marketplace there was a JCM 2000 DSL for the same fucking price, which is made in England and is a much better amp than the new DSLs.
Yeah.
You want to save him real money? Show him the Jim Lill video and sell him a few pedals.
The RC boosters. Shit. Right? That's what he was using, RC boosters.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's an exotic effects pedal. It means RC stands for really clean. It's a really clean boost. I have an AC booster, which is almost clean, and the RC is really clean. But exotic effects is what the hell's Toshi's last name? I forget his last name. Toshi, I'm sorry. I love the guys over at Exotic Effects. And Toshi makes some great pedals. Exotic has a great wah. They have like my favorite wah pedal. They make some great stuff. I really like Exotic Effects. And they make guitars. They make a great Strat. I haven't played the Helix, although I think it's fine. Like, I'm one of those guys, if you, like, I go see a band play. If the player's good, the guy could be playing a Squire into a fucking Gorilla amp. It's going to sound good. So I think everything can sound good.
Yep.
Exactly, RL. Good one. You are here. You woke up from your nap, RL. No, it's not Toshi Abasi. No. This Toshi is the one that owns Exotic Effects. Toshi's a very popular Japanese name. Yeah. He was looking at the 100, but I have a 50 back here somewhere, right here. So yeah. But Exotic, like I said, Exotic makes great stuff. His last name begins with an H. I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now, but it's irrelevant. What else? Krelbar's not here. He said he was going out tonight. He was all excited about going out, which okay. And I tried to get Chuck on the show. Chuck might come on next week. I think he's going to be on next week. I'm smoking a cigar with him tomorrow night to discuss the laptop he's going to pick up. And yeah. I don't think that's true. That's something when some people that like, it depends on if you use tons of gain. It just means you don't have any taste. Some of the, like, I like the 70s and, like I like Iron Maiden gain, which is, somewhat around the 50-yard line, maybe 60%. I think all the decked out gain, I don't think sounds so good. Like, I'm not big into that fizzle gain, but yeah, I mean, is it easier to play with gain? It has both its ups and downs. It shows a lot of bad. In fact, I was telling this kid today when he was saying he wanted to buy a Marshall, like a head, 100-watt amp. And I said, well, you're 19 years old. It's time you learn how to tame the monster. Because anyone that plays a 100-watt head, you have to learn a different way to play the guitar. It's taming a monster. It's a loud. Your guitar is explosive. You let a string ring, it's not like if you're playing a Princeton. A Princeton, the string can ring, you don't barely hear it. On a Marshall, that thing's going to cause all kinds of havoc. So you have to, me and my buddy back in 40 years ago used to say it's called taming the monster. And it's hard to do. You learn how to mute properly. I think it's a great training tool for young players to play with a lot of gain cranked. Because then when you go to play clean, you play cleaner. Because you've learned how to tame that monster. Like when I play, even when I play acoustic, like I can strum all 6 strings. You're only going to hear one string that I want you to hear ring. I mute everything. I'm muting everything with my
control.
That's yeah, well, but you learn that from initially when I first started playing big amps. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I mean, it's like a fucking dragon behind you that just wants to explode. It's like you got to mute. You want to play a chord? Okay, you got to mute. You got to mute. You got to mute. Now a lot of kids today, I would say, semper compellis. You want to talk about people that are lazy and don't want to do the work? Noise gates. If you say, well, I don't know if you rely on, I mean, that's like something that a clean player would say. Everyone always has sour grapes against the other guy. I play clean. That guy plays dirty. He uses it as a crutch. I don't think Dave Mustaine or Paul Gilbert uses gain as a crutch. I just think it's a different animal. Or Tony Iommi. I just think that people who like the sound of gain, now new players always play with too much gain. That's why Line 6 has the insane setting. You know what that insane setting for is? If you think that setting sounds good, you're insane.
You're insane. Yeah.
That's right, because it's garbage. And that's too much gain. I mean, there's such thing as too much gain. But the noise gate, I had a guy come into a shop when I was running West LA Music, and he's like, I need to get a noise gate. I said, before we get the noise gate, let's bring in your rig and hear what's going on. It was like the most insane, like 3 drives on top of a distorted amp. I'm like, what are you doing? It sounds terrible. All the noise.
Ask him to bring the average guy would just sell him a gain pedal and be done. I mean,
yeah, but
be done with it.
Yeah, but that's not my style. I was like, let's fix the issue. Let's figure out what the problem is.
Right.
And the problem was and I said, you've got all this is adding compression and gain, and you don't need it all. It sounds thinner. People don't realize. You listen to like Megadeth. Somebody said euthanasia. As much as I love the album, what's the Symphony of Destruction? Is that the name of the album? Countdown to Extinction. As much as I like Countdown to Extinction, you listen to the guitar tone on that record and then listen to Led Zeppelin 10 Years Gone. And Led Zeppelin 10 Years Gone is this big fucking sound that takes up, oh my God, it's epic. And then you listen to Countdown and it's two guitar players playing it that sound needle nose thin. Gang, 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 gang. It's terrible sounding. I think that album's the worst produced, even though it was
out of it.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Well, it's not that the mids have been compressed. There's so much compression and gain that it's like, even if you put the mids back in, it would sound like a toilet. You wouldn't even hear the vocal at that point because it's just terrible.
So you think a noise
hilarious
gate is never
RL.
needed?
Huh?
Would you say a noise gate is never needed?
I don't think so, because like if you want it to go like learn to work your volume. I do it. I used to ride my volume knob in my band. We used to do all these and my pinky would just roll. I mean, pinky would roll the volume off and then right back on, off and on. I would do it myself. I think if you use a gate, it's just.
I like the way it cuts down the hiss.
Well, that's what the problem is what's causing the hiss. You shouldn't have a hiss unless you're running either something's bad, or there's something that's not liking something else in the signal.
Well, single coils hiss.
Not mine. Well, you're going to get a 60 cycle hum. But again, I would roll my volume off.
If you're in your dirty channel of your amp, whatever it is, it's going to hiss. But as soon as you're playing a note, then the hiss goes away. So like Dave was saying, the second you stop playing, you got to turn that volume down.
That's what I do. That's controlling the monster. And I learned that from, again, the monster. When I was a kid, people said noise gate. I didn't even know what the hell it was. I was like, what?
I had a guitar player that did that, and he would let his guitar hiss in between songs. And my lead singer is, hey guys, thank you for coming out to the bar tonight. And my guitar player's over there letting his freaking Randall hiss. Awful. And all he had to do was step on his pedal to go over into his clean channel, right, and the hiss would be done. And as a bass player, I'd walk over to his side of the stage, just a bar band. I'd walk over to his side of the stage, click his pedal for him. I did that all the time. And like, oh yeah, okay.
Probably deaf.
Yeah, that would be my thought.
Deaf.
Yeah.
So as we promised, we would have another list tonight. And Joe has done some diligence and found a list for us that was questionable.
We didn't even talk about this list. We haven't
talked about it. It's a very shocking
bad
list.
About that whole Deep Purple thing last week, Joe. Ripping on your favorite guitar player last week.
No, capos are not cheating. Look, I love when people say capos are cheating because that means if I'm going in for a gig, I know I got the gig. You don't want to use a capo, especially when you're playing acoustic. You don't want to use a capo? Perfect. I'll take the gig. I'll take the money.
There's things about this list that's sacrilege and blasphemy, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, it's hilarious, and we've got to go into it because, first of all, I did exactly. Yeah. All right. So this list is called. Hold on. I think we're all carnivores here. Why am I seeing all this noodles? Thank you. All this noodling.
Okay, I'll put it there.
Oh, that's you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to mute that.
Hands up.
When people are talking, it's like I feel like I'm on the soundtrack to
Groovyville.
Crossroads.
The difference between capos and noise gates is you can do the gate yourself. The capo is working. I mean, how do you even compare the two? I'm not even going to answer that question. Just you use noise gates and don't use capos. Keep that up. That's great. I'll take the gig. All right, so yeah, go into a fucking country session and say, yeah, I don't use capos. It's cheating. Great. Can you use the restroom? Because you're the fuck out of here. All right. Because every country song is played like it's in the key of G. Doesn't matter. Oh, we're in B, capo 4. All right, here we go. We're going to ranking the best frontmen and women of all time. Now, this is the top 25 list of the best frontmen. And I can honestly say, looking at this list, I see maybe 2 people that deserve to be on it.
I'd like to say real quick,
I see a few
happy birthday, David Lee Roth. Okay, before we get started.
Is he on
was
the
it his
list?
birthday?
Today's his birthday, I believe. Yeah, according
happy
to
birthday.
I don't know if
David
everyone
Lee
can see
Roth.
the list, so I'm putting it in again. So it's in the private chat, everybody, if you want to follow along with the list.
How old is the DLR?
I don't know off the top of
What do
my
you mean,
head.
how old is it? It's a,
How old?
It's a,
How old is
David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
How old
I'm
is
going
he?
to say he's
Probably born in 55, if I had to guess.
73.
Same as Eddie?
I think Eddie's born in 56.
No, Eddie's born in 55. Like
Then I would say they're the same age.
Okay. The brother's older.
Dave,
than,
you were
right?
close. David Lee Roth, October 10, 1954.
54, okay.
So that makes him what, 68 today? Right? Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he's a lot
Wow.
older than that.
All right. Actually, you know what? You might be right. There's 2 or 3 in here that could work. All right, so let's start with number 25 on this list. One of the best frontmen of all time. My favorite performance that he ever did was on Judge Judy.
Sid Vicious.
Nothing? That's exactly right.
I saw
No,
that.
that's Sid Vicious.
John Lydon.
Johnny
Oh,
Rotten.
yeah.
Johnny Rotten. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
I knew that's what you meant, though, because Sid Vicious
Yeah.
is dead.
He's been dead for 45 years.
But you're damn right.
Johnny
Johnny Lydon. Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten is top 25.
He's always got them big eyes.
I mean, I will say this, and I've said it many times, and I don't care who it offends. The Sex Pistols are the only punk band that exists. I'm sorry, Dane. I know you like punk, but that's the only punk band that exists. They're the only real punks. Everything else is pop. There's nothing pop about the even Pill with Johnny Lydon was more of a pop band. This is punk.
Yeah.
The Sex Pistols were punk. Does he belong in the top 25? I don't think so. Not for me. They put out one record. I've seen him live on the reunion shows on YouTube. No. Not for me. I love him. I love his brain. I think he's funny as hell. He's out to lunch, but he's great.
Yeah.
But he created something that nobody else has done. And that's why he gets put on the list, just like last week with the Beach Boys.
I don't think so.
But
I
then,
don't think so.
What? They're
didn't
making the list for the wrong reason. I think a front man or a front woman, that's someone leading the fucking band up front.
Agreed.
Right? Someone memorable. Not just the singer that's going to fucking sing the song, take a piss, and all you're there for is like David Lee Roth. He put on a fucking show.
The Knack is a new wave punk band. I mean, a new wave pop band.
Interviews with Steve Vai. Steve Vai says everything he learned about, when he was in David Lee Roth's band, he goes, I learned about nutrition, diet, taking care of yourself. He goes, because, the show that David Lee Roth put on, you had to be in top fucking shape.
Mm.
That's a front man.
Agreed. Right. Even what you say about singing wise, you can not like David Lee Roth as a vocalist. First 6 years of Van Halen, that's one of the greatest frontmen of all time.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a question.
It's almost like a circus, and your front man's your fucking ringleader.
And a lot of people say he stole most of his image and everything from the guy from what's that band? Black Oak, Arkansas. Right? That's what they say because he looked
I
a
never
lot
heard
like
that.
him. And
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I
Oh, the
don't know.
guy and his daughter has a channel and they always talk about the Jim Dandy. Thank you, Cecil Music. All right. Number 24. Yeah, is Patti Smith.
Oh, okay.
Because the night belongs to lovers. Too bad the night didn't belong to a bar of soap.
Now, wait a minute. Is this person?
Can I get anybody to laugh at my material? That's funny shit. The girl was a sweaty pig.
Well,
she's been making lists I've been reading since the 80s. I don't know who the fuck she is.
Because the night belongs.
Wait a minute. Front person fronts a band, or is that a single performer?
Let me say this. She was an unattractive Gilda Radner.
Oh, God.
She is, yes.
Thank you.
And but she sort of created alternative.
She didn't create shit.
Kind of did.
No.
She was kind of alternative before there was alternative.
Not really. Yeah, she was so alternative. She was doing her biggest hit is Bruce Springsteen's song.
Because the night.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, okay, Dane, what other song did she sing besides Because the Night?
Yeah, but I'm not
My point exactly.
Like Patti Smith from
She didn't have one.
Right? She fronts a band.
Who?
Patti Smythe from Scandal.
Yeah, Patti Smythe doesn't make my top 100.
No, but Dave, she fronts a band.
Yeah.
Right? All right. This other person we're talking about, I don't really remember this person like fronting a band. You know what I mean?
Well, she always had a band. I mean, it's her band, but she's the. Yeah. They're saying she's such a presence, and it's like that's like it's the Rolling Stone horse shit of Bob Dylan's the greatest songwriter, the Velvet Underground's the greatest band, and Patti Smith is one of the greatest women rockers. Great. Now that I know you're a douchebag, can you get out of my face? Thank you. It's just terrible shit. I don't care what anybody says. If I can, I grew up during that time. I can only name one song from her, and I don't like the song.
All right, moving on. Well, I think she sucks. I'm not a fan.
So, right, okay. Number 23. Here's what's fucked up about 23. I'm a huge fan of the band.
You didn't ask me about Leiden, and I think Leiden's too low on your list. Moving on to 23.
What do you mean too low on my list?
Well, not your list, but their list. I like fucking Rotten, and I think he's a great fucking front man, and he's got a lot of he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah,
but
I love the guy. I just don't think he's top 25.
What, 90? When did they do the reunion thing? 90, 89, 92, something like that.
They did a few. They did one recently.
But if you look at the footage from way back in the day, it's just pure insanity. However, he is masterful at the ringleader persona. And he's better than fucking the guy from the Ramones. And he's better than, I'll think of some other punk rock guys. You know,
I just told you there's only one punk rock band, so how can you name others?
Well, because the Ramones were a fucking great punk rock band, Dave.
They're not a punk band. That's a pop band.
Don't censor me.
They're a pop band. Hey. Oh, it's so pop. It's so punk to sing Sheena's a punk rocker. That's a pop song.
23.
You want to tell me about a girl that just had an abortion? That's punk. You want to sit there and tell me about Rock and Roll High School? That's a fucking pop band.
Oh my god,
yes.
Man! I fucking
Misfits
love that.
of punk.
That no.
Come on.
Who?
Then what are they? The Misfits.
New wave.
What?
Heavy rock.
Get out of here.
All right, number 23.
Yes, sir.
Now here's a guy that I love. As a front guy, I'd be like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" Morrissey.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Here we go. I've seen this guy 3 times. All right?
I love the Smiths.
Well, have you seen him perform in front of people?
Yes, I've been to their shows.
Okay.
And I've seen Morrissey.
All right. Well,
not top 25. No.
Okay.
Wait till we start saying other people, and you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, how are they not?" Because it's absurd.
I think he's like almost the anti-frontman, right? He almost seems awkward doing what he's doing. However,
I wouldn't call that a great frontman. There's lots of guys that are awkward on stage. They're not on the list.
All right, I'm writing a name down now. What I'm thinking. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard he used to. I've never seen him. My band one time opened up for a tribute to Morrissey, and they were called the Sweet and Tender Hooligans. And so I've seen the tribute band, but I heard he used to run off stage and change his shirt and run back out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's one of those guys like Robert Smith that is unsecure in his own skin, kind of look about him. So he's very modest.
I could go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. Look, I've said it once. I'll say it again. The Smiths do not have a bad song. I love the band. I would not put him in the top 25 of frontmen. Now, maybe his hero, one of the male brothers, I forget, from the band Sparks, has a better chance of making that list. Let's go to number 22. Number 22 is Bon Jovi.
You can't, whether you like the music or not, you can't deny the guy was, he was a draw.
Right, but he's a good-looking kid. That's a good-looking kid. But
he's still a good-looking guy.
He's looking a little swishy in his older age.
You get older, you start to look like an ant.
He's looking fruity. The head's getting bigger. The body's getting smaller. I don't know. There's something very fruity about him. But was he such a great guy that he was the draw or the songs in his voice?
Oh,
it's everything.
I think it was. I don't
think he was that great of a front man. You think so?
He adored the fans and they adored him. That's not everybody has that relationship.
I put him top 25, but he deserves to be on this top 25 more than some other fucking people.
I agree with that, but I don't think he belongs in the top 25.
Yeah.
We're talking Bon Jovi, right?
Right.
Yeah.
John.
He outlived the 80s. He was huge in the 80s. One of the hardest working bands of the 1980s as far as touring.
Sure.
And they never stopped touring. And then in the 90s and stuff, he started having hit songs, doing country stuff. So he survived a whole second generation.
I'm just going to say this because you guys are missing the point. Let's take a huge band like Metallica, James Hetfield, okay? He's the front man for that band. Would you call him a better front man than Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden?
No.
Why?
Dickinson's a far superior singer. He's a front man.
Not even about the singer. He's running around the stage, getting the audience involved, getting the band involved. He's a front man.
He's a ringleader. It's like a ringleader.
Yeah, but he's also a fucking tremendous vocalist too. Which
besides that, he's the look. Lee Roth isn't, but Lee Roth was the draw with Eddie, and he was the magnetic. It's about being involved. It's about being a frontman for a band.
So
that's what I'm talking about. So Bon Jovi to me is like James Hetfield. He's he's a wheel in the cog doing the gig, singing great, but he's not like this unbelievable front guy entertainer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
However,
it doesn't say this is not ranking the best rock lead vocalist.
All right, Dickinson
versus frontman. Huh?
Dickinson versus Roth right now.
That's tough.
Oh,
that is a tough one.
Oh, right now, Dickinson.
I go
with Roth.
Yep.
Well, you said now or in their heyday?
I'm just
each guy in their.
Pause. You know what, Dave? I'm always talking.
I thought you said now. Oh, in their heyday, fucking.
No, I'm saying you answer that question now. That's what I'm saying to you now.
Oh, easy. Lee Roth in his prime is the best.
Okay. All right. Now we're getting off derailing this fucking list, but.
No, we're not, because I'm looking at number 21 right now. Number 21 is another female. And a woman singer that I love, that I think is one of the most boring performers I've ever seen.
Okay, here we go.
Debbie Harry.
Yeah,
I
she
love
always came off like she was bored and didn't want to be there. She'd come off like, I'm better than this. Why am I here? She's filing her nails. Why am I even here?
Blondie's a great band, but her as a front person, give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Yep.
She sang and that was good, but that doesn't make them a frontman, but they have to include the women here. It's just give me a break. Number 20 is probably my favorite songwriter of all time. And it's fucking Bob Dylan.
There's a front person?
How?
Ooh. Ugh. Yeah.
So I guess Bob Dylan, because I don't see David Lee Roth on this list. Bob Dylan is a far superior frontman for a band than David Lee Roth.
Yeah, it's a weird list.
Is this New Arena still? Is this that same site?
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to HR tomorrow there. Folks, everybody here, strip down, out the back door, and start running through those woods. We're not playing anymore.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
I'm bringing my shotgun now. Forget about the rifle. The shotgun's coming out. All right, so Dylan is just absurd. Number 19, for me, is top 10.
Okay.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
No question.
That's a fun man.
Guys that set the mold for
the
people.
prototypical.
Yeah, exactly. He's the prototype.
He can for the 70s, certainly.
Yeah.
The look. And he's
one of
fucking,
those guys
he
that
maintains
set
it,
the
man.
stage for everyone.
You know?
Still does it. Still is doing it. Steven Tyler's an awesome frontman. Great frontman. He's probably he's the first one on the list so far. So we're 19. He's the first person on the list that belongs on the list, in my opinion.
Now you're saying Dylan
belongs
on the list.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan should always be number one in every list because that's been drilled into our heads. That's what the hipster doofuses want us to say.
Well, they want a little return on their investment. What they buy his catalog for, $400 million.
Right. Okay, so number 18 is a guy who very important, but stood there and played guitar and sang so you couldn't understand one lyric. Kurt Cobain.
Ugh.
More boring
I don't know what
than
kind of
Harry or Kurt Cobain.
Oh my God, yeah. Talk about.
Do you guys
somebody
watch
awkward.
SCTV?
Yeah.
Always loved it.
The Perry Como Still Alive tour. and Eugene Levy's on a bed. They got a mic there, and he's like, "I love the nightlife. I love to book."
Dave froze.
And they're
that's
like,
awesome.
what an exciting feel like Kurt Cobain shows like. Unbelievable. All right, we got to move on because that's just absurd. Number 17 is a band that I fucking hate. And I hate this guy's voice.
Let's go around and grab
But
it.
he belongs on the list.
He belongs on the list.
That's a front man.
I'm sorry, you dropped out.
Yeah, you
Axl Rose.
Axl Rose.
Oh
and
yeah,
Guns N'
yeah.
Roses.
He's on my list, Dave. I agree with you.
Yeah. I hate the band. I hate him. He belongs on the
That
list.
first record's good.
I disagree.
Fine.
I think Use Your Illusion 2 is good, but I hate the band.
You don't think Appetite for Destruction is a good album?
I can't stand every song on it. I'm so sick of it. And I never loved it in the first place. I just always thought it was, when it came out, I was a metalhead of heavy proportion. And I always thought that was like light music.
Well, you should revisit it.
No, I don't like it. What do you mean
I
to
think it's
revisit
one of
it?
the
I
greatest
hear
albums
every
ever
song
made.
on the radio every 5 minutes. If Axl Rose ever dies suddenly, I am turning off the radio for good because they're just going to play every song for the next 10 years.
Let me listen. I'm taking it to the back. I'm opening the back door, and I'm throwing into the woods. And all you're going to have is Bluetooth playing deep cuts from Ozzy's Boneyard while you run.
Right. Oh, yeah, the deep cuts, which
Axl
is every.
What number?
He's number
I
7.
agree with you 100%. Triumph is one of the greatest fucking bands ever. I love the singer. The guitar player is one of the greatest guitar players ever.
Same guy.
I don't think they get enough credit that they do because they're always overshadowed by Rush. But if I had to bring a discography with me to a desert island, I'm bringing Triumph. I love Rush, but I got to go with Triumph.
Triumph's a great band, but I don't think he's a great front man. Well, now, number 17 was Axl Rose. Number 16.
Dave, can I just interject? I saw Triumph back in the day. And again, I'm not really like huge on, I like the traditional frontman definition. However, Rick Emmett with a guitar is very good.
I'm not saying he's not.
He's not Hendrix with the fucking guitar.
I'm not.
Now,
I'm not gonna, Jerry, once I start, when we get through this list, I'm going to name people we omitted. And you're going to go, yep. And then we're going to be like, well, where the fuck would, who did we just talk about? Who did we just talk about?
Axl Rose.
Where would Rick Emmett be? He wouldn't be on the list because once I start naming real frontmen, you're going to be like, there's no way.
No, but the kid's not bad. All right.
I'm not saying he's bad. He's not list worthy. That's all.
Well, you probably
there's a lot of people that aren't bad.
Hey, he's top 50. How's that? In a real
all right. Well, that's quite. I can't think 50. I can't go that far.
At this point, Dane and I are going to open the back door to throw the two of you out because you're brawling like Kirk and Spock.
It's sweeps week.
We're going to go into a Kobayashi Maru.
Right. Like that episode with that space seed, the plant that fucking spoozes in their face.
All right. Number 16 is a woman that died at 27, but looked like she was a grandmother at 20.
I love her.
Yes, I'm speaking about Janis Joplin.
Oh.
She had the voice of an angel. That angel is Lucifer. Folks, this is gold. I don't know what the hell I can do anymore. The next thing you know, I'm going to bring up Anissa Jones.
Joplin. Big Brother and the Holding Company. But on the list of top 25 front men / women of all time,
RL says Captain Kirk is a great front man.
Captain Kirk is the best front man.
Yeah, in the true definition. Yeah.
A ball game. All right. Janis, I'm not a big fan of Janis, but I wouldn't say she's a great front man for a band. Just wouldn't say it. Number 15 is a guy who I don't like on every level.
Yeah.
And that is Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think Chuck Berry belongs on these lists. The guy was, poor guys in the 50s because they're so outdated by the time the time the Beatles came out, all that 50s shit was outdated.
Yeah, but you know who could have made the list? Little Richard.
I agree.
Okay.
Top 5, dude. Top 10.
To the day he died, when he walked into a fucking room, he got your attention. He was that insanity, that fucking energy that a front man has.
Yeah.
I would put him there before Chuck Berry. Why? Because one guy's got a guitar, one's got a fucking piano.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this: Little Richard's on an episode of Columbo. Game over.
Game over.
He's on your list.
All right, number 14 is a guy. Well, sometimes he's a guy. I'm not a fan. He's got this guy. Okay, when people tell me about how great Prince is, I'm always like, the guy's got 1 million songs and there's only a handful that are good. Same for this next guy, David Bowie. 10 million songs. I can't stand most of them.
But I think he had that commanding, that personality, I think he deserves to be on the list.
Not for me.
I agree. I saw David Bowie in 1985. It was raining all day. As soon as he hit the stage, it stopped raining, and he killed. It was the Serious Moonlight tour. It might have been 1984 to be. I think it was maybe 83. Fuck, I can't remember. It was great. You know who opened up?
Took the night off, Pamela.
The Neighborhoods.
Oh wow. They let anybody open up for Bowie. All right, let's go to number 13.
I saw him a couple times.
I wouldn't put 13 on the list, would you?
No.
For what?
No. Number 13 is Bono from U2. Now, I will say this. He's probably he'd be near the end of if he makes the list for me, it would be like around 25 because he was a great frontman. All you have to do is watch the Red Rocks concert. He commands the crowd.
Correct.
As much as I'm not a fan of the guy, I always liked his sunglasses. Thank you. No, I always liked his
blue one.
There was something magical about that Red Rocks concert where they were doing Sunday Bloody Sunday.
That's it.
And it was cold, and he had his white surrender flag, and he stuck it in the ground, and you could see his breath. And there was something magical about that moment.
That show, he's the frontman of all frontmen. He was fantastic. Well, and again, not a huge U2 fan. I've said it before. I can name 4 albums that are fantastic. And sorry, RL, the Joshua Tree is not one of them. All right. Number 12.
While some of these guys accidentally make some magical moment happens without them even planning it. It just happens, and it's pure freaking magic. Again, I keep saying that. But that's what U2 did during that Red Rock show. Somehow they pulled that off.
Yes, Jerry.
I agree with you.
Oh, very good. Number 12 is a guy that's revered as one, and in my opinion, one of the greatest songwriters of all time. One of the greats, one of the legends. But as a frontman, give me a fucking break. And that is John Lennon.
That blew my mind.
John Lennon's not a frontman. You know what I mean? Even in his own band, he didn't even want to front his own band. He had Yoko next to him. She was the eye candy. That tells you how bad he is.
Yeah, he's not a front man. He was he sang lead, but Paul would talk to the crowd.
When you bring Yoko, when you bring Yoko as the eye candy, that's finally I gotta laugh. That's what's all right. Here we go. All right, so number 11, we're back to the women, is probably my second favorite female singer in Fleetwood Mac. Yes. And that would be Stevie Nicks. Yes, I love Christy McVie. I know you think she's boring, RL. I get it. Thank you, Joe.
Stevie Nicks had that well, I keep saying magic, but she had that. She would wear the long dresses. She had a unique dance around thing, and she kind of came off like a witch.
Well, and right. And in the 70s, I'll give you, she was attractive. In the 70s.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she was hot.
Yeah.
Now she's in her 70s.
Yeah.
And not so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
When she sings Leather and Lace, I'm like, please tell me you're leather. For fuck's sake, guys.
Dave's full of them tonight.
Christ. That's a I'm laughing at that one. Fuck you guys.
And the Rumors album. I was in my store one day, and Stevie Nicks' bass player was in my store. He lives here in Phoenix. What the hell's the guy's name now? He was hanging out with me. And Neanderthal from KSLX was on the other side of the room. And the Stevie Nicks getting, not Fleetwood Macs, but Stevie Nicks was being nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Neanderthal standing over here, and he goes, there's no way she deserves to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. Because what did she have? The Edge of 17. She had like 2 songs. She doesn't qualify. And Neanderthal is this big, huge guy with a loud mouth. And the bass player from her actual touring band is on the other side of the room. And he's just smiling. You're like, whatever, dude. I just got done playing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony and all this and that. So whatever you want to say, I don't even care. And I'm like, yeah, Paul, shut up, dude. That's Stevie Nicks' bass player standing right there. And he's like, oh, I don't care. So yeah, these 2 guys almost went freaking.
But Stevie was a great. Look, I'm going to give Stevie her due. She was a great songwriter. She wrote some phenomenal songs on that first Fleetwood Mac album she was on in '75, produced by Keith Olsen. Rumors album, she wrote some phenomenal songs. Tusk, she wrote some great songs. Mirage, she wrote some great songs. She had a solo album, Belladonna. There's a lot of great songs on it. She was a fucking force for like a
She-
good
yeah.
10 years.
She never stood behind the keyboard, or she didn't. She was always stage front.
Don't you knock Christy
Stage center.
McVie.
I know.
Christy
but I'm
McVie
just
also
saying.
wrote some great songs.
I know, but she was behind the keyboard, so nobody got to look at her.
Christy McVie sported those bangs. All right, here we go. Number 10 is a band, a front man of a band that I fucking hate almost as much as I hate the singer himself. I hate this guy. I hate every melody he's ever come up with, every lyric, and every person that's a fan of him. Folks, I'm talking about Eddie Vedder.
Ooh. Yeah.
I just don't like him. I just think his melodies. Don't call me daughter. Okay, I won't. How about we don't call you at all and get the fuck off my radio? Thank you. All right. Now I'm getting you guys warmed up.
Yeah, he mumbled. He was a mumbler.
I gotta start this show an hour earlier and have a warm-up comedian starting first.
Jeez.
like the old fucking game shows.
I don't know how he made the list. Not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not. I got like what 5 or 6 songs I know from them that I like, but other than that, what is he doing in the front that's so fucking compelling?
Yeah.
Not much.
Awful.
Yeah.
You
Just
had to be
awful.
from that generation.
The
to
anti-front
appreciate it.
man.
Yeah.
You had to be from that generation.
I mean,
to appreciate
and
it.
you know what else?
He's
What's that
ahead of-
song? What's the song where it goes? Is it called Black? What's that? Oh no, Alive. The solo for Alive is the exact same solo as Kiss's solo in She, which is the exact same solo as 5 to 1 by The Doors. Look it up, guys. Everyone's just ripping off that Robbie Krieger solo.
Robbie Krieger's
Well,
great.
at least there were 2 guitar players in that band, and they were actually strumming their guitars, and there was some musical stuff going on there. And again, you had to be from that generation. But thank God this list has somebody from a different generation and not just people from the 1960s. The list we did last week seems like it should.
All right, Seppa, you're out of here, buddy.
1969.
I don't want an idiot in here. You're gone.
What happened?
Goodbye. He's just sitting there like, oh, these guys are out of touch. You don't fucking agree. Then say you don't agree, but don't stop being a douche. You're out of here. All right. I have no patience for people anymore. Honestly, folks, guys, as much as I do the show and much as I do stuff on YouTube, honestly, I don't need to put up with any of your shit. You guys want to talk shit? Anyone could talk shit to my face. You want to do it online? Fuck you. Fucking spineless little fucking weasels that go online and fucking talk nonsense. All right. Number 9 on this list. Again, probably my excellent RL. Pulling out Wally George. Oh, I fucking love it. Get him out of here. Oh, that's a great bit. I wish he were in on it with me, but he was just a douche. Let's see. Number 9 is one of my all-time favorite songwriters. I've seen him live several times. He doesn't make my top 25 frontmen. And that is Sir James Paul McCartney. I don't think he's a great frontman.
He's better than Lennon.
Yeah, but at least he's higher on the list than Lennon.
Thank you, Mike Shaner.
There's a difference between front guys that go on stage stoned or front guys that go on stage drunk. And the guys that run around on stage drunk are the funner ones to actually watch.
But a front guy is a guy that's controlling the audience and getting them involved. And that's why it's like, I'll tell you who's a great front guy that's not in this fucking list is Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
From Slipknot. That guy commands the audience. Fucking awesome. He was fantastic in Wings. I told you, McCartney's one of my all-time favorites. I mean, fucking Band on the Run is a phenomenal album. Red Rose Speedway is very good. London Town's very good. But we're not talking about what albums are good. We're talking about as a frontman. As a frontman, it's like watching Billy Joel. You know, like Billy Joel and Elton John. Are those guys good front guys? They sit at the fucking piano. Yeah, Elton John used to come out dressed as Donald Duck. He used to wear the costumes, but I think that was more of a fetish on his part than it was trying to please the audience. Elroy, yeah, we already went there. We think David Lee Roth.
Yeah, it was a win-win for him.
Yeah. Number 8 is a guy that's definitely in the top 25 because it's a band I don't care for, but I love this guy and I love his antics. And that was Roger Daltrey.
Really?
What do you mean, really?
I'm so surprised that you said that. Every time the Who comes up, I want to volunteer to run out the back fucking door before you throw me out the back door.
No. I said the Who has full of good albums. But let me tell you, when you see Daltrey on stage spinning that fucking microphone around like a lasso, he's fronting a fucking band. He's commanding that audience. And he's got a great voice, and he was fucking awesome.
All right. All right.
Now, what happens when you hear him sing a song written by a good songwriter like Free Me? Right? That was Russ Ballard wrote that song. Free Me's a great song. One of my favorite Daltrey performances ever.
Daltrey had a move on stage where he would jog. He was actually, whoo.
Yeah. I think Daltrey was fucking great.
Yeah.
He's a front man.
Absolutely.
That's a front man. That's why I could sit there and say Bon Jovi's not a front man. Daltrey's a front man. Daltrey's got the antics. He's working the crowd. That crowd is getting worked up. He's getting everyone involved. Number 7 is pretty hard for me to say this guy was a great front man, considering he used to turn around his back to the stage because he had stage fright.
Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison. What the fuck is this guy? Number 7? That's honestly, I'm a huge Blue Nile fan. When I saw the Blue Nile live the first time, Paul Buchanan was sitting there with tissues, blowing his nose, saying, "I can't believe like all you people are here." And he was like, it was like watching the most timid guy. That I'm surprised he's not on this list. Right after, better than Morrison. Morrison does not belong. Number 6 belongs on this list because number 6, I believe, wrote the book on being a front guy for the 70s bands. And that is Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Definitely Mick never falls out of character. I saw Jagger in 05.
06.
Yeah, it was out at where the Cardinals play, Cardinal Stadium. And he never stopped being he doesn't fall out of his character. He doesn't go behind an amp and drink a water. You know what I'm saying? He's the front
a rock star.
The whole freaking show.
He
never goes over and wipes his forehead off on a towel and sips of water or takes a little break. He doesn't do that. He's stage center the whole freaking time.
Number 6 is Mick Jagger. But number 5, when we talked about the 50s, hard to beat this guy. Hard to beat him. In fact,
I would argue
there are many times when I was jealous of the 1968 comeback special leather outfit. I would love to walk around that. I want to wear that outfit on the street. I do. That to me is that.
Hey,
I have a buddy of mine that wants to wear the Hawaii thing with the big robe, walk around in that. But anyways, Elvis is number 5.
But Halloween's coming, Davey, so you can do it. Do it at the gig.
No, if I do it,
I heard a story about
I would do it all year round.
Elvis was in a donut shop, and somebody in the donut shop was like, "Man, I sure do like all them rings you're wearing." And Elvis was thinking that the guy was going to try to rob him, and he's like, "Yeah, and I aim to keep these too," and had to punch the guy or something. Yeah, back in those days, man, you had to fight to keep what you had.
Elvis was the man. I love Elvis.
Yeah, you can make an argument for Elvis being number 1 on this list.
I'd agree with that.
And there's that new Elvis movie that I'm excited to see. I haven't seen that yet, but
fantastic.
I'm excited to go see the new Elvis movie.
Yeah. I got that downloaded, haven't watched it yet.
Number 4 is a guitar player singer who probably deserves to be on the list. I don't think he deserves to be in the top 10, maybe as guitar player, but Jimi Hendrix as a frontman.
Okay.
He was good.
He's very good.
Worthy. Number 4, I don't.
But he is a
so.
He is a guy fronting a band with a guitar.
Yeah, but he's definitely. I would put him top 10.
Yeah,
ahead of Elvis.
Oh.
Yeah, his live stuff was better than his studio stuff. You could almost say most of the time. He would burn
Andrew
his
Collins
guitar
is best
and-
rock frontman.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
best R&B.
We can actually make a list of people that didn't make this fucking list.
Oh, absolutely. Off the top of my head, I have a list
I'm still
brewing.
waiting for that point right now.
So number 3 is a guy that I don't think should be on this list, and that's Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, he plays, he sings for 4 fucking hours. Hey, I thought I'd go see Bruce Springsteen perform. I didn't realize I was going to go see him perform his entire career. 4 hours.
Maybe
Give me
not
a break.
this low on the list, but it's somewhere on the list to be.
Nah,
sort of
not when
maybe
you'll
wrong.
see when we start adding people. Number 2 belongs to be, in my opinion, top 5. I don't know if he's 2. He might even stay at 2, but number 2 is Robert Plant.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Oh, I got no problem with that.
Well, the
Top
voice is there.
Yeah.
The command of the crowd. I kind of think Ozzy's a better frontman than Robert Plant.
But we
Robert on the
you're
list.
talking about the list that
I
we're
get
missing
it,
after the
but
list.
I don't think he should be where he's positioned.
I said
And
I don't know
love
if he should be number 2.
Zeppelin, and I think Plant's voice is amazing. But as we've been defining the front man, I'm going to fucking buck tradition. I'm going to go, no.
All right.
Certainly not number 2.
But he did ask the audience if they remember laughter.
Yeah, I get it.
That's getting participation. I'm just kidding. All right, number
He belongs
1.
on a list.
He wasn't
but maybe
peeling
not
off
this high
fucking-
on the list, but
He wasn't peeling off sweat scarves like
Number
Elvis
1
Aaron.
could also be mine. Could be my number 1. Because he was a great singer. He was a great performer. He changed costumes several times.
Okay.
He would jump on piano and play.
Mhm.
Freddie Mercury. Hey,
Yep.
now.
Jumped on
Yep.
Darth Vader
Bang.
and would sing.
And he
Bang.
jumped on the Superman. And after the show, he jumped on several guys that looked like Glenn Hughes
Superman's
from the
pole.
Village People.
I knew that was coming. No, he's definitely, and we're talking about Freddie Mercury of Queen. He's definitely top 5. Top 3, probably too.
Yeah. And the thing about Freddie Mercury is, I don't know, a lot of people don't realize, they don't know how many pianos he actually owned. But he had organs up the ass. Thank you, folks. Again with that joke. I thought you guys all knew it. I'm sorry.
I got decapitated. by that.
I saw them live. And oh shit, my phone's ringing
What
again.
year?
All right. So let's discuss a few things here about who hasn't made the list. And I'm going to just say a couple that I think should be in the 20s. Robin Zander.
Very good. Yeah.
And as much as I'm not a big fan, Paul Stanley,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
Good.
what's that?
Paul's pretty
Ro-
good.
Ronnie James Dio,
How the fuck does he not make the list?
Bruce Dickinson,
Yeah.
Corey Taylor from Slipknot,
Mhm.
The most obvious
Rob Halford from
omission-
Judas Priest.
But obviously, the most obvious omission, the one that just fucking blew my head, is where the fuck is Ozzy? If he's
Yeah.
not number 2, he may even fight to be number 1.
Ozzy's top 10 in my book, but I love
All
that.
right, just
band.
because this list is saying they added some women in there, what women would you put in this list?
I guess Pat Benatar. But again, engaging the crowd. I never saw her live, so I don't know. I like her voice, though. I think her voice is
Eric
tremendous.
Johnson, no.
And I know that's not necessarily the criteria, but
We could all say David Lee Roth would be in the top 5. Yes.
Yeah.
We love Roth. Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't love him, he
Top
was a
10.
front man.
Yeah.
No, but he was a front man. That's what he was.
I know,
He was a great front man.
Yeah, but to be top 10, your voice has got to be strong.
I think his voice was great in the early days. But Ozzy should be in there. Dio should be there. Would Ann Wilson be in there?
Ooh.
If there was a country, if you could have country artists on this list, you could have a dozen female singers in there.
Reba.
Yeah, but
but this is a rock list. So
yeah. How about this? Would Chrissy Hynde be on this list?
She's great. But
she is great.
She fronts
and she's
that
still
band,
out doing stuff.
I don't think she was a great front person, but I fucking love the first two Pretenders records with the actual
cool
band.
to look at though, man. But yeah, like whipping up a crowd and rocking a room. How about Joan Jett fronting a band?
Joan Jett kicks butt.
Yeah, dude.
Well, is Joan Jett a better front band than Sherry? Whatever. What was her name?
Sherry
what was the
Curry?
girl's name? What?
Yes.
Sherry Curry.
Sherry Curry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Joan Jett's a better front person than the girl from the Runaways?
She's better. Yeah.
Joan's better. What about Lita Ford? Lita Ford could be on there too. Then, if you're mentioning them,
they made a movie about
your eyes. What about
the Plasmatics?
Wendy O. Williams.
Wendy O. Williams.
Wendy O.
She's the best female front person ever.
She had a sledgehammer at a show.
She was the best.
She had a sledgehammer like this, and she was doing like this with a giant sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. And the city of Toronto or someplace came and arrested her.
She was the best front person ever.
Yeah.
She's definitely in the top 10 of all time. And I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of the Plasmatics, but she was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She carried.
She was a performer.
Mm-hmm.
She carried the band.
And she was a filthy pig, but no worse than Patti Smith.
Right.
Patti Smith was like, "Are you kidding me?"
No. And when you think about a list like this, you can think about, oh, they made great albums, and that's why she's on this list, or that's why. But that's not shouldn't be what's on this list. This list should be like, if you've seen this band live, are they great front people or frontmen be live? And that's why you think about.
You know who else was great live, and it's a band I'm not a huge fan of the band, but Corey, what the hell was his name from Living Color?
Glover.
Yeah.
Great. He was a great front man.
Dude, Dave, he's on my list.
Great front man.
Yes, absolutely. All right. What about another fella from the 80s? George Michael.
I don't know that he was a great front man. He's a phenomenal fucking singer.
He was more of a rear end man.
Thank you. He came in the rear.
Got one in on you there, Dave.
You did. You beat me to it.
Regardless of his sexual proclivities, I think he was a good frontman.
You know what? What about the Dee Snider, Twisted Sister?
Yeah. Dee
Snider in the same category as Kevin Dubrow of Quiet Riot. I don't know how good they are because anytime I hear their songs or see a live clip, I'm changing it.
It's the same guy.
But I'm just saying he worked really hard at that role, at being the front man.
On the list?
I agree, Stewart. Dane.
Who?
Rod Stewart.
Oh,
I don't know that he was a great front man. In fact, I think the guy from the Black Crows was a decent front man.
I'm just saying, ahead of some of the people on the list now.
Well, I saw Rod in 1989.
Oh yeah, Health is awesome,
rock, dude. And then he kicks out the soccer balls at the end. And he changes suit jackets and shit. And
so Ryan says Zach De La Rocha from the communist band.
Are they really fucking communist?
Rage Against the Machine. Let me tell you something I don't know if you guys pay attention to what goes on recently. Jim Root from Slipknot came out and was making comments about bands like Rage Against the Machine and said, these were the guys that said, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And now they're yelling at everybody to put on a mask.
And get vaccinated.
And obey the government.
Yeah.
He's like, things are fucked up. And he was talking about how he hates bands that get political and stuff like that. He's like, what happened to we're against the man? Now you're the man. So let me just applaud Jim Root there for that.
He's been doing the interviews he's been doing lately. It's like that guy who's reached that point where he don't give a fuck no more.
They don't care anymore. They left it label.
He don't fucking care anymore. He's bad mouthing the album's coming out, and he's bad mouthing the album
because they left the label and they have no more ties to that label. And the label forced them to put out that one more record, part of their contract. So they're like fucking the label over.
The best fuck you to a label in that regards has to go to Ozzy's. What was a shout at the what was that, the live one with Brad Gillis, and it's one of my favorite fucking live albums ever. Speak of the Devil, right?
Speak of the Devil, that's it.
Holy shit. And then I think Brad Gillis learned the songs in like a few weeks or something. He fucking killed it on that.
People don't give Brad Gillis and Jeff Watson from Night Ranger enough credit for how good they were. Those guys were making heavy metal pop songs and playing some sick fucking guitar doing it while making it all look easy.
Yeah.
That was tough. Those guys were fucking great. And Jack Blades had a great voice, and I forget the drummer's name. Is it Keith Keegi or Kevin Keegi? I cannot remember the name of the drummer, but he had a great voice too.
Kelly
Keegi. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great voice. Great voice, you know. And they had Mike Nesmith on keyboards. I'm joking. You ever see the guy? He always wore the beanie cap, and he had a mustache and beard with sunglasses. He looked like Mike from the Monkey.
Yeah, dressed like a doctor or something.
That was Dr. Funk.
They finally got rid of that guy. I heard rumors that he was just in it for the paycheck.
For Johnny Paycheck? So Ryan's saying to me that I should take so Tom Morello advertised a masterclass. It was on Facebook. You had to see the comments. Everyone's like, why aren't you giving it away for free, you fucking communist? It was fucking hilarious. Nothing makes me happier than knowing that people hate Tom Morello. He's just a douche.
Isn't he?
And I'll tell you that on Ozzy's Boneyard, they have him like talking about music facts. And it's like, not even facts, but his opinions of things growing up. And I'm like, I'm about as interested in what this guy has to say as I am watching an ant farm. Get this fucking asshole off the radio. And why are we having DJs talk? I told you about that guy on Ozzy's Boneyard. To me, the first heavy metal band was Judas Priest. Well, then you're a fucking idiot. Because Sabbath was out 5 years earlier, fucking laying down the heaviest riffs, heavier than anything Priest still ever played.
I have an update on the Roger Waters
I fucking agree with you.
My brother went to last week. So
how was that? The indoctrination over at the Roger Waters?
Well, apparently they open up with Comfortably Numb without any guitar whatsoever. So as it goes out, we could read a list. We could probably have a list of the top whatever guitar solos, and Comfortably Numb would be in like the top 10. He plays that song with no guitar now.
5.
He's trying to eliminate David Gilmour completely from the band. There's no guitar work in Comfortably Numb, and that was his opening song.
But that could be David Gilmour saying that you're not allowed to use any guitar parts.
No, they can't do that.
Could be, but
no, it can't be.
Yeah, Lonesome Dave from Foghat was a good front man.
Lonesome
somebody
Dave
mentioned Bon Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that he was a great front man. He was good. The band was good. But to me, Angus was what, you know what I mean? He was the one putting the asses in seats, running around like a lunatic while Bon Scott sat there in jeans 3 sizes too small.
I'm kind of thinking that this
Did I say
list,
that
we're
whole-
kind of thinking about guys that could get the audience stirred up in between the songs. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that sort of
Yeah.
how we characterize a great frontman?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Phil
Who's getting the
Santanselmo.
crowd
What is his
fired
name? Santanselmo? What's his name? From Pantera. He's a great front.
Oh, Phil Anselmo. He's
Phil
fucking
Ans- yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what about I think if you're in the front man, why before some of the people on this list, before anyone argues with me, I would put Peter Gabriel.
Well, I mean, Gabriel in Genesis was definitely like a performance art piece. Watcher of the Skies. I mean, that's a great fucking band.
I went and saw a UFO concert in 1982 or 83 or something. And there was probably 10,000 people there for UFO. And the lead singer didn't say one word to the audience the entire show. And we just stood there like, you know.
The funny thing is UFO doesn't say anything to me while they're playing their songs.
Well, I mean, this was in the day of early Van Halen, where
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I miss Krelbar.
Yeah, half this fun of the show was what was going to happen in between the songs. UFO didn't give us anything.
You know what? Coverdale was great. Ian Gillan was great.
Fuck yeah.
You know, people aren't even thinking about some of those bands. I'll tell you a great frontman that is in my top 10 that no one's even brought up. Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull.
Oh, I meant to mention him before, but I was waiting for the list to be over.
He's
top
fucking
5.
Great.
Oh,
Engages the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on the list then?
That was the list.
That was the list.
Oh, I have one more. Fee Waybill.
The Tubes.
He's a carnival baka, that guy.
Yeah, he was good.
Good voice. I don't know if he's a writer. I like that.
I love it
a lot.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they call me the teacher. And the teacher is one of my all-time favorite songs. Petty was good. I don't know if he's a great frontman, but he was good. Tom Petty.
No, he was good. Sammy Hagar could be on there too. Rob Zombie,
Yeah, what
definitely.
about Sammy Hagar? Because he has outlived everybody from the. What year did the first Montrose album come out? 72?
Nah, it's later than that, but it's like 74 or
73. Okay, so since 74 or 5, and now
the Red Rocker
whole weekend he
rocking.
just played 3 shows at Cabo for his birthday party, or maybe that's next weekend. But yeah, he's still rocking it.
He's great live.
He works hard on his career. Yeah,
he's got a great voice.
Yeah,
he tries to take care of it.
I got to tell you though, he wrote a song that I think Rick Springfield did a better version of.
He did. Yeah,
I've done everything for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing with Sammy. He's a writer. You know,
he's still writing songs.
Yeah, Sammy's a real deal, man.
What about Tortelvis?
Who?
From Dred Zeppelin.
Oh, he's fantastic. I saw those guys in at the channel in like 85.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh, and the little guitars and shit. It was fucking wild. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was like 300 pounds.
I got to run and check Mike. I'll be back in a minute.
But what about now? You're a local guy here, Jerry. What about Peter Wolf? Do you put him in the top?
Great. Yeah.
I mean, he was good in the heyday.
Really overlooked. He's still around.
When he did Lights Out,
yeah,
Dance. To me, it was like just hike the football. You're done.
Lights Out completely schmaltz.
Yeah.
No, but prior to Blow Your Face Out, 1975.
Yeah, Monkey Island's a great record. I mean, some of those records are fucking.
And their live album was good. So you got to think when you have a list like this that what did these guys do live? I mean, throw away their studio albums. How were they live?
Well, that's why I say Robin Zander worked the crowd.
Yeah, but that's a good one, Dave Wolf. And,
well, I just figured because he's a local guy, but he was very charismatic, and I think that's the key to what we're talking about here. It's not just about singing, it's having a certain charisma and power over the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
not talking and going to the restroom or going, I'm going to go get a beer during this song. They don't want to miss a second of any of it.
Right. Which is why
Uh-huh.
not only is Paul Stanley a great frontman, but Gene Simmons, all right, Tokyo.
Yeah.
I like my Gene. Rock bottom.
Oh my God.
So why don't we compile a list of our 10 favorite live bands in the rock and roll genre?
ZZ Top.
So number 10, ZZ Top.
I never seen ZZ Top, but so I don't know.
I saw them in 1981.
It's a
They
good
were
year to see 'em.
fantastic.
On the DeGuelo tour.
No,
Spent
it was
time.
El Loco.
Oh, El Loco. El Loco.
El
I'm
Loco.
sorry. DeGuelo.
Yeah,
I had it
yeah.
backwards. El Loco's
Yeah.
later.
But, you know, those guys always live, fucking tight, nice sound. Dusty's voice is always monster. You know, they're just very, very consistent band.
Going back to frontman, would you guys say that Steve Walsh was a good frontman?
What did he front?
Kansas.
I saw them for the Audio Vision.
Used to play the keyboard, doing handstands on the keyboard.
Yeah, I never
He
saw
was
the guy.
Sick. He was
Yeah.
behind.
That was an
keyboard.
athletic guy on stage.
Well, what about Mark Farner, the guy from
Another great one. Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, but he was always fucking ready to.
Yeah, he was
play
great.
volleyball in between fucking songs or whatever.
Great live band.
Yeah, but he was energetic. You good front. You know what?
He was a great frontman.
Exactly.
Those guys in 1971 was selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they were the biggest band in the world in the early 70s.
Yeah. And there's probably a fucking 25 guys we, have overlooked completely. That were just as
Yeah, I know.
good, you know.
Well,
not just as good, but honorable mentions and such. Who was the singer from the Waitresses?
The Allman Brothers is on Johnny there saying the Allman Brothers. They had that great live album, Live at the Fillmore.
Yeah, but I don't think Greg was a great frontman, but they were a great live band for sure.
Exactly.
Right.
Does not
They were a
fit the
band,
criteria.
My
They
only
didn't have
problem with the Allman Brothers is if you listen to that album and then go watch them play any of those songs live elsewhere from other shows, it's never the same.
Yeah.
There's
they're a jam
bands.
band.
There's great bands that don't have a front man, like Styx. Styx, Dennis DeYoung would sing.
Now Dennis
James
DeYoung's
would have a
watching the
couple,
show going,
Tommy
what did
Shaw
I
would sing a
do?
couple. Styx doesn't really even have a front man.
He's like fucking the creepy uncle front man.
We want to apologize publicly to Dennis DeYoung. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Well, they had two
don't.
frontmen. They had Dennis DeYoung singing, and they had what was Tommy Shaw.
Yeah.
But James Young even did Miss America, and James even had.
Yeah, I'm trying to forget James Young sang. Thank you. He was terrible. Heavy Metal Poisoning. By the way, can we just discuss Kilroy Was Here? That album was so fucking horrible. I am the modern man. Secret. I've got a secret.
Well, that whole where all these bands
Lovato.
wanted to do a concept album. And the Wall came out and it was so popular, and Dark Side of the Moon, and there was this new thing. Let's do a concept album, and that's what happened to Kiss.
Well, did you guys know the story of The Wall? The Waters wanted to do a concept album, and he brought two ideas to them, and they chose The Wall, but the other idea was the pros and cons of hitchhiking, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to pass."
Yeah, it's solo record.
And they made it a double album because they were hemorrhaging money, and they lost a lot of money. Like their management was stealing money. So they were broke at that point. And they figured if they put out a double album, the way the RIAA works is every double album, you get paid double the money.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Cash cow.
So that was the reasoning behind that.
How many sales in that fucking thing? 100 million over the past 40 years.
Operation
And now that Roger-
Crime was a great Mind Crime was a great concept album. Queensryche.
Well, we're using the word "great" loosely there. It wasn't.
Dane enjoyed
I
it.
didn't care for it. Mary. Oh my God. When I think of some of the songs on that record and the concept of that album, I cry because at one point I like this. And I'm like, at what point was I a homosexual? It's terrible. No, actually, I think there's good songs on it. I just wish they didn't do the concept thing because I thought they were so trying to be Pink. They were like trying to be the heavy metal Pink Floyd.
Everybody wanted a concept album for
Heavy
a while.
metal Pink Floyd. I remember that term.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Dave, I'm gonna put this in the chat. You may need to save this for next week.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh.
25 best rock guitarists of all time.
I thought we did that last week.
No, that was rock bands. No, we didn't do the guitarists yet.
Hold on. Yeah, we did.
No.
We did.
We did not.
Oh, we didn't do this one, but we did another list of rock guitarists that you sent. Remember we did guitar players and we were talking about Santana sucking?
No, we were talking about that, but that list wasn't.
No, this is a different list. Yeah, we'll definitely use this list next week.
I'm looking at number 25 and I'm about to throw fucking punches.
I also got this one here. This is from Rolling Stone. Let me put it. I'll put it in here. We'll do this one next week too, or the week after.
I'm up for that list. That one looks
are you
fun.
kidding me? Holy fuck. How does 21 make it above the other ones?
Okay, let me click on.
Dave,
Santana gets to ride it on every show. Well, we try to. We have an obligation to you people.
I'm looking at people in the bottom 10. Who's made the top 10 if these guys are getting beaten out? This is our whole show next week.
Which one? The bass one?
No, the one the
guitar player one.
The top 25 rock guitarists.
Oh yeah, well I'll have to go through it and compile the list so I can put it right in the chat.
You're gonna lose your fucking mind.
Well, I saw that one of them, number 24, already has my blood boiling, so I stopped. I had to close it.
Holy shit! Oh my God! Save us.
It's shocking.
Dave, you're going to lose your fucking mind. I wish we can fast forward to next week just so I can hear Dave lose his fucking mind.
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable.
That's number 5? Oh, and once again, there's number 4 up everyone's ass.
Bob Dylan?
No.
Bob Dylan should be number 1 on every list.
Eric Clapton.
Stop putting...
Yeah.
All right.
They always
Hendrix,
do.
Clapton, Jeff Beck.
It's the cock-sucking fest. It's all it is these people for years have been put on this list. And so now if you don't say it, your list gets snubbed as being, oh, your list is irrelevant. You don't have Hendrix in there? Listen, I'll say it again. I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. My favorite Hendrix album is Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. It's better than anything Hendrix did. Yes, it exists because Hendrix existed. So what? It's a better record. It's a better fucking record. You're going to tell me Bad Company was an original type band? Come on, every fucking song. In fact, we were working on a song the other day. You guys know the song Silver, Blue, and Gold by Bad Company?
Yeah.
Give me.
Yeah.
It's the same song as Satisfaction Guaranteed by the Firm, which tells me that Paul Rodgers had to have written that. Same chord progression, same rhythm, everything.
Yeah.
That's like saying Greta Van Fleet wrote the best Led Zeppelin album.
If Zeppelin wasn't good. But let's put it this way. Let's say somebody came out with a Janis Joplin style voice, like Joss Stone, and she put out a record of 10 great songs that sound kind of like Janis, but were good. That's what we'd be talking about. Zeppelin was already perfection. I don't think Hendrix is perfection by any stretch. I think the songs are weak. I mean, there's some great ones. Spanish Castle Magic's good. Bold as Love is good. Castles Made of Sand is good. And everything on
I heard Foxy Lady on the radio the other day.
Awful. Yeah, terrible. Can't listen to it.
The vocals all the way over pan to one side. And it'd be nice to remix it. Who owns the tape? Give us a remix.
How dare you question the producing and engineering work of Chaz Chandler and fucking Eddie Kramer?
Wouldn't you like to hear the vocals centered in the pan? Just on Foxy
First of all,
Lady?
I think I find it Foxy Lady to me is unlistenable just on the song alone. Purple Haze I can't listen to. Stone Free. I always like Highway Child. But do I consider Highway Child like one of the greatest rock songs of all time? It's not better than anything on fucking Bridge of Sighs.
Traffic.
Look, and I don't care if what I'm saying is unpopular. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I just think Bridge of Sighs is a fucking great record.
What about Let Me Jump? Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire.
Yeah, terrible.
That's a good one.
Terrible.
I like that one. Let me stand next to your fire. Great drumming.
How about you jump out in front of my car? No other
Yes,
crosstown traffic with a kazoo. You're just like crosstown traffic. So hard to get through to you. Hey, I'm trying to compare a girl to something that I can't get through to her. How about crosstown traffic?
While he's setting in
Great
traffic,
one.
in LA traffic.
You jump out in front of my car and you know all the time. 90 miles an hour, girls. It's almost
Speed
like
I
a
drive.
joke song. Speed I drive.
Sounds like Gene on vocals.
Right? If I was the producer, if I was Chaz Chandler, I'd be like, yeah, you want to try the vocal? I don't know, maybe again? Maybe? One more time with the vocal? No, the guitar was good. You want to do the vocal again? No? No? You know, sure? The vocal? Well, let's listen to it. We'll all listen. Come on, everybody in the room. We're going to listen.
Isolate it. Yeah.
That's my tactic for trying to get him to do the vocal over. You jump out in front of my car. He sounds like a fucking Muppet. Right?
Oh my
He sounds like Dr. Teeth.
Oh my God.
You jump out in front of my car and you know all the time. It's like, Christ.
Sound like you're doing a Gene Simmons impersonation.
Yeah.
Of Hendrix.
This is Gene Simmons.
I know.
This is Gene Simmons from The Experience. But you know what's a great song was this one.
Red House.
Yeah.
Killer shit.
Yeah. Jimmy was great on the blues, man.
He was.
Yeah. Really was.
Great.
My favorite Hendrix song is the song he sings about me.
Is there a
Hey,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe.
I love that. I just love the way he does that.
Did you ever hear it by who did it originally? The Leaves, maybe?
Yeah, it's a cover.
Yeah. It's a
is there a
cover.
top 10
No.
blues guitar list? Blues guitarist list on there, Joe?
I'm sure there is.
That would be fucking great. Let's see.
Top 10 blues guitarist.
John Lee Hooker.
I'm super into the blues right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Have you listened to Robin Ford? I'll tell you a great Robin Ford record. No, I can't remember the name of it. Let me look it up for you. It's great. If you like blues, but it's jazzy blues. Is that okay?
Dane, what have you been listening to?
Basically, I've just been sitting here at my shop playing along with blues backing tracks in A minor. So I'm just sitting here playing to back
to your
blues
daughter.
backing
Not listening
tracks. So
to-
that's why I'm into it now.
Talk
not
to your
listening-
daughter.
Yeah.
That's the name of the album by Robin Ford. Excellent.
Oh.
Now, you know, it was great today. My lunch break starts at 3 Eastern, and I get out of my fucking office and I go to another room, and I put on YouTube, and Guitar Interactive was having a live lesson show, and it was all about Rory Gallagher.
Oh yeah,
he's a good
I got
player.
into that.
he's monster.
I didn't want to go back to fucking work. I'm like, no, let me play like Rory. Fuck work.
My when I go and I want to watch something, it always comes up to rate my takeaway. Have you seen this guy walks around with his own chair and table? Cameraman,
Oh,
And
you were telling us
now-
about that.
cameraman. My brother's been so into it. Hey, cameraman. I
These
think
camera
that
guys, don't mention me. I don't want to be a part of this. I'll be your camera guy, but leave me out of it.
I think Billy Gibbons' Blue Jean Blues is a great blues thing. I'm
You know
not
that
such a
whole
big fan of the
DeGuelo album. The whole entire DeGuelo album is like
DeGuelo's good.
3-chord blues. The whole thing with the horn.
The first album, which sure got cold after the rain fell by ZZ Top, is really a good blues record. But as far as blues goes, I'm not a huge blues fan, I have to say. I mean, Gary Moore stuff's fantastic because he's a great player and dabbles a little in the jazz. I like the players like Larry Carlton who dabble into the jazz stuff of the genre. I think Larry's first album's great. Yeah, but I mean, as far as I could never listen to B.B. King.
Really?
I just assume jump off a bridge.
Oh, fuck off.
I can't. Can't. It's not the blues to me. A guy coming out snapping every day I got the blues. Then why the shit-eating grin? What the hell's wrong with you? It's happy shit. I don't like it. It's me. I'd rather listen to someone tearing my heart out. To me, Gilmore, I can listen to Gilmore play. But the blues guys, it seems like it's like hearing the best of licks. Hey, here's an oldie but a goodie. You guys remember this bend? Ah, yeah.
You're missing the point.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just think that it's pedestrian.
It's okay.
It's uninspiring.
Yeah.
You want to hear inspiring? Listen to like Robin Ford, Larry Carlton. You know, guys who know how to play over a 5 that understand the music.
There's a lot of messiness but it's the DNA. It's the
You either dig it or you
subject
don't.
matter, the grooves, the stink. There's
One of my
something there.
all-time favorite blues singers is the guy that played with B.B. King. What the hell's his name? Bobby Blue Bland. And one of his greatest songs is Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. I don't know if you know the song. It's fantastic. The guitar player on that, Larry Carlton.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
I even
It's just-
came across what's the
Pornhub?
guy's name? Ray Charles blues albums. You can find those in there. You used to be able to find those in thrift stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that
great.
stuff is really
His
good.
his
Ray
album from
Charles doing the
'62, Modern
blues.
Sounds of Country and Western, is fantastic.
Yes.
25 most influential albums of all time.
What's number 25?
Number 25, License to Ill, Beastie Boys, 1986.
It inspired me to stop
That
listening to rap.
influenced a bunch of white people to rap.
Number
Yeah, that-
24,
Yeah,
The Chronic by Dr. Dre, 1992.
That
introduced
also influenced me to
hip-hop.
stop listening
That
to rap.
introduced gangster hip hop to the world.
Number 23, Tapestry by Carole King, 1971.
Yeah, 71.
That was a big record.
Number
was.
22, Nevermind, Nirvana.
Another big record.
That's a big
Now,
record.
do you think?
okay.
But hold on a second. You think Nevermind influenced more people than Tapestry? And I'm not a
Yes.
Tapestry fan.
I never fucking heard Tapestry in my life.
I got to
You just know every song from it because it was on the radio.
Yeah, AM radio.
But
I
listen
Feel the
to-
Earth Move.
Yeah.
You're So Far Away. It's Too Late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James
get it.
Taylor stuff.
I heard the
Number
tunes.
21,
Yeah.
Didn't buy the record.
OK Computer, Radiohead.
Beat
I
out
like
the
that
Cure
album.
for alternative album of 2001 or whatever year that was.
Some bullshit. This is another hipster list.
All right. Number
Yeah.
20, Live/Dead by the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that inspired me not to listen to the Dead ever again.
Number 19.
I wish it inspired Bob. What's his name? The guy in
the
the
entire
stop singing.
genre.
19. Master of Puppets, Metallica.
Cheech, they covered it. Coverdale covered Ain't No Love. It's originally a Bobby Blue Bland. Look up the original, but I love Coverdale's too. Sorry, what was the last one?
Number 19 was Master of Puppets by Metallica, 1986.
Yeah.
Popular thrash metal.
Well, are we talking influential again, Joe? Is that
It's
part of it?
25 most influential albums of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. That's
Number
Suddenly every
18.
kid in the world was like, let's be a thrash band.
yeah, that's like aptly placed.
Number 18, Thriller, Michael Jackson, 1982.
Should be higher, in my humble opinion. And I'm not a huge MJ fan. I kind of am, but
I was just about to make a fucking joke when this list made it for me. Number 17, Horses by Patti Smith.
Oh, I told you it's a hipster doofus list.
yeah.
That one inspired me to shower.
Fuck this.
Cleared my armpits.
And the best thing is just what she's all just covered in sweat in this picture. It's disgusting.
Yeah, she's a pig.
Number 16, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, 1970. Just barely eking out Patti Smith.
Yeah, just it was so close I couldn't decide.
Yeah.
Number 15, you would put it number 15? You could argue this for number fucking 1. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Oh my God, yeah. Top
That was
five.
on the top 200. I think it's still there. That
Top
fucking
3.
album.
That's top 3.
Fuck. Okay. Oh, well, Dave, you're going to be happy about this one. Beating out Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon for the 14th spot is Ramones.
Oh, such a classic album from a band that knows 3 chords.
But it
Yeah,
has
we
I
needed
Want to
to.
Be
A
Your
lot of punk
Boyfriend,
bands.
Judy is a Punk, and
Yep.
Blitzkrieg Bop.
Oh, Blitzkrieg Bop. When I think of the most important punk songs of our time, that's a fucking pop song, by the way.
Number 13, Don't Come Home and Drinking with Your Lovin' on Your Mind, Loretta Lynn.
It's a
What,
great
From the
she
record.
year that
fucking
I was
died?
born, 1967.
No, she's great. I mean, I love Lurleen.
Yeah.
That's a Simpsons reference. But yeah, she's great.
Oh, number 12, Dave's favorite. Bringing It All Back Home by Bob Dylan, 1965.
It has to be.
When I think of
Bringing it all back.
albums that really inspired me to become bulimic,
Was that Mom's in the basement mixing up the medicine? Was that tune? Was on that one?
Subterranean Homesick Blues.
I don't know. They don't
Yeah.
even mention any of the songs on here.
65, I believe. Yeah, that's the time frame. Mm-hmm.
Number 11, I've never heard of.
Go ahead.
Trans Europe Express Kraftwerk from 1977.
Yeah, Kraftwerk's the band. They were like the first synthesizer band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an interesting song.
Germany.
I remember it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are on top 10. At number 10 is Elvis
That's why
Presley.
the Pistols are punk. They only use 1 chord.
Elvis Presley by Elvis Presley, 1956.
Yep.
I don't know
Number
the songs
9.
on it, but it's probably great.
Give me a second.
It influenced people. You could
If
be.
this is the greatest of all time, I just want to say, if Frank Sinatra's A Swinging Affair is not on this list, it's bullshit.
You know it's bullshit anyways.
I know, but A Swinging Affair is a fucking, it's like, if you like Sinatra, every fucking song on that album's fantastic.
I don't own it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
Should.
there's only like 3 record companies
They're
in
like
the
Chuck
world that
Berry.
control every album, and so those 3 record companies compile these lists. Make sure, because that's how they sell their records.
Okay. Number 9. Beating out Elvis is Bitches Brew by Miles Davis.
Don't like it.
That's a wild fucking song, man.
It's
If
not
you
as good
haven't
as the first, what's that album from 59?
The
All
Birth
Blue
of
with-
Cool. Birth
No,
of
no,
Cool.
with one with all blues. Kind of Blue. Kind of Blue's a great record.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kind of.
Bitches Brew is not a great record. It's good. I don't
That
think it's
track. That track.
Yeah, but he's talking about albums, the whole album.
I get it, but if you haven't heard it, it's worth a listen.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting song.
Well, beating him out and taking the number 8 spot is "It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back" by Public Enemy.
Yeah. Terrible. But anything with Flavor Flav, I'm okay with. Running from your life, from the knife, running from my wife. Yipes. I love Flavor Flav. Anyone that can sport a big clock around him is all right.
Who was in that band?
Flavor Flav and Chuck D.
Yeah,
Get
Chuck
up
D.
and get down. 911 is a joke in your town.
Elvis was a hero to most, but he don't mean shit to me. Okay, go ahead.
Elvis was a racist.
Number 7 is, I can't even listen to this group, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Oh
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my thing.
What's the number?
Well, I tell you what's coming up is fucking Sgt. Pepper, because Pet Sounds is on the list. Sgt. Pepper's going to follow. That's just how it works.
Number 6, I've never heard this album, Dust Bowl Ballads by Woody Guthrie from 1940.
Oh, yeah. Of course. On the train they call the city of New Orleans. Fuck off with that. Woody Guthrie and Arlo Guthrie.
Soundtrack of about 100 Hollywood Westerns.
Number 5, we're in the top 5. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, 1971.
4 good songs on that album. The rest of the songs are filler.
The record was held back 2 years by the record company. They felt it was too controversial for the public.
It's not true.
That's true.
No, it isn't.
Number 4.
He recorded it in L.A., and he wasn't even in L.A. that long. It was, first of all, let me just say this. What's Going On, Mercy Me, Inner City Blues, and I can't even name the 4th song, but the rest of the album's crap. I'm not just being honest. I've listened to that album many times. Overrated.
Number 4.
You want to hear a great album of his? Stubborn Kind of Fella from 1962. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. It's your show.
No, I'm just saying.
Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Oh, wow.
When I think of albums that I really like to put on when I have a Duraflame log in the fireplace and a box of wine.
I was actually listening to some of that last night before going to bed.
Was that who was in that band? Was that Snoop Dogg and Ice-T and
no.
Eazy-E,
Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren, and DJ Yella. Even if Yella makes it a cappella. Oh, God. Fuck. Number 3, The Velvet Underground and Nico.
Oh, yeah.
The Velvet Underground, 1967.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you really want to hear I tell you right now, these are shit bags that put this list together.
Okay.
Patti Smith, Bob Dylan, and the Velvet Underground in one list. It is complete shitbaggery.
Oh, my God.
Well, that influenced Kurt Cobain, that record.
Yeah, you know what else influenced him? Lots of drugs. I wouldn't say that drug is something that's good. I wouldn't tell people to start taking heroin because that influenced Kurt Cobain too. The band stinks.
Well, I think that
Kurt Cobain had talent to write songs. They did not.
Okay. Everyone ready for number 2? Number 2. King of the Delta Blues Singers, Robert Johnson, 1961.
28 songs on that album. Not one song sounds different from the other. It's basically Calhoun Tubbs. Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. Ooh-hoo. Where David Alan Grier used to do that on Living Color. Your wife's nothing but a lying bitch. Ooh-hoo.
Number 1 is one that Dave mentioned earlier.
I told you, it's the Beatles.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah. Now, number 1, let me just say that. Let me tell you why this list is fucked. Sgt. Pepper, to me, is not the most influential album. I think Revolver or Rubber Soul is. Those were the albums that fucking woke people up and was like, what the fuck? By the time
those are 2 great fucking albums. 2 of the greatest albums ever by anyone you just named.
Yeah. I mean, Sgt. Pepper, what are we Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock, someone shoot me now. Da, 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 da. So it's so it takes itself too seriously. It sucks. I'm not a fan of that album. I think it's not in the top 5 albums of the Beatles. Now, let me tell you that album with the Velvet Underground, that's not their best album. I'm kidding. I wouldn't know anything by the Velvet Underground because I heard a song by them once and I thought it was 2 cats fucking. I was like, what the hell is this garbage? And someone's playing fiddle over it. I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's 2 cats having sex while some beginner is starting to hack away at the violin like they're sawing logs. It's frightening.
I found another.
There's also way too much rap in there that I don't find to be inspirational.
I found another list. Maybe we better hold it for next week because the number 25. I've never even the top 25 best performers in rock and roll history.
This band wins everything
25
right now, and they're terrible.
What?
They're horrendous. I don't even understand this band. They're horrible.
Who are they? Are you looking at the list I put?
Yeah, you're talking about Arcade Fire. They're terrible.
I never heard of them. I've literally never heard of them. What song did they do?
They don't have any songs. I couldn't tell you one name of a song.
Okay. Number 24, you put them in number 24, you motherfuckers.
Look what beats number 24. You're gonna piss your pants.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's this list we got to go over next week. This is embarrassing.
Saving this. Are you saving these links? We got 2 lists for next week.
Yeah, hold on. Let me save them somewhere. Hold on one second.
I'm so fucking happy. I went and when I put Mikey to bed, I took 3 Advil because I'm in pain right now. Holy fucking-roly.
Oh, let me see. I'm opening up my email. So I'm going to send it to you, Joe, just so we both have it, but I'll send it to you as a way of saving it.
It was hard to swallow.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me just see if I can. Let me take this one here. Wait, is that the one you sent?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
The argument that Arcade Fire isn't as good as number 24, right?
It's not even an argument. It's just silly.
Who's 24?
Click on that link over in the private chat.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to talk because we're going to bring it up next week.
But there's...
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'll put the bass player list in there too. Hold on.
The bass player list might be fun.
Yeah, it's just I have to go through it because the way it's not like as easy as reading the other.
This motherfucker's on the next 2 lists we're doing next week. He don't deserve to be there.
Yeah, bass players like we have in that list as well. All right, folks, there's a lot of stuff we could be sitting here talking about, but it's 10 o'clock, and guess what? I feel like smoking a cigar. I had a great cigar before I started the show. I smoked an HVC hot cake. I enjoy it. It's a great cigar. So I'm going to smoke one more cigar tonight.
My cigars are in transit.
Excellent. I love it.
I ordered cigars. Oh, my God. Number 3? Oh, fuck you. Oh, number 2 can go fuck himself.
You know, sometimes what it takes to be a good lead singer.
What?
Is sometimes what it takes to be. We were talking about lead singers and frontmans. Sometimes what it takes to be a really good lead singer is you get on stage and you feel like you have to make up for what the band behind you is lacking in. You know what I'm saying? If they're not so good, if you're the best part of the band, you have to make up. Oh, my drummer's a little off time every once in a while. Maybe the bass player always shows up drunk. So that's why you get a awesome lead singer because he's working extra hard. If you're in a band where you're in just such a great band, these musicians are so good. You're in front of you're fronting a band like Tool or something. Then
Maynard
you can bring down your enthusiasm level. You can bring down your showmanship, and you can just do your part and be a part of it. So,
just to be fair, though, you realize, guys, we are talking a lot about very American stuff, and we don't really talk about, like, somebody mentioned Michael Hutchence. He was a great front man.
Yes,
he was.
Doc Nesson, however you pronounce his last name, from the Angels, was fantastic. one of the greatest frontmen. And if you guys don't know who he is, look up the song No Secrets by the Angels on YouTube. This guy was fantastic as a frontman. Bands like Depeche Mode with Dave Gahan was a great front guy. And
what about White Angel?
Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo, talking about American band. He was a great front guy.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of stuff. Paul Weller from The Jam and the Style Council and then solo. We don't talk enough about Paul Weller, and maybe because you guys don't know him or know his stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff that's out there that we haven't talked about. Another one of my favorites is Sharrock. What the hell's his name? Glenn Sharrock from Little River Band I liked. But there's like a lot of great, again, look up the Angels, No Secrets. Watch the video. That guy, Doc Nason, is great.
The Angels, but in America, they were known as Angel City.
That is correct, and they hated that name. But the record label gave them that name. And because there was already an Angels here, not even Angel, it was the Angels, which I guess was a 50s band or something.
No, wasn't there a White Angel or something like that? The Kiss kind of.
No, that was just called Angel.
Yeah, you could flip their logo upside down and it would still say Angel.
Yep, that's it. Punky was the singer for Angel. The guitar player. What's Punky's last name? No, he was the guitar player. They had a singer.
Brewster.
He was Punky Brewster?
Jeez.
No, Punky Brewster was
TV show.
Moon, what the hell was her name? Moon Fry.
Oh, yeah.
Moon
Salam Moon Fry. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're leaving out some of the greatest front women of all time. No one's mentioned Seika. No one's mentioned Desiree Cousteau. Where's Linda Lovelace? What's wrong with you motherfuckers?
I think those women were more rare women than front women.
Wanda Whips Wall Street. Where are
they? Punky Meadows. Ashlyn Gear.
Yeah.
Ashlyn Gear.
Your Animals.
Barbara Dare and stuff.
Oh, God.
We got the modern classics. Corey, whatever name was getting stuck.
Corey Chase.
Those are some great front women, right?
Oh, yeah.
Angela White.
Oh, yeah. Angela White.
Jada Stevens. What's wrong with you?
Arabelle Raphael. Just to name a few. Seika. I remember Seika on Thick of the Night. You guys remember when she was on Thick of the Night with Alan Thicke?
No. I remember that show.
You guys remember the show Thick of the Night?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But how do you get Seika as a...
She was a guest on Thick of the Night.
Wow.
That was trendy.
Yeah.
Born in the 90s. It got very mainstream.
I think Alan Thicke's wife sang a famous theme song. Was it Facts of Life? Did she sing? I think his wife sang Facts of Life.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. It could be One Day at a Time. It's one of the big shows, but that was Alan Thicke's wife. And all right, folks, we're going to be doing this. Tiffany Million, man. I forgot all about her.
Last one, Aunt Peg.
Who?
The great Aunt Peg.
I don't even know that.
Just look it up. You'll remember.
Oh, Christy Canyons. Christy Canyon does I think she does a podcast out of Los Angeles. I think she's up in the Hollywood Hills or something. But I remember her doing a podcast a couple of years ago.
Hey, Dwight.
Great stuff. All right, so next week, guys, we'll be doing this all over again. I hope to see the four of you.
Prepare to be aggravated.
I'll try to figure out what night's not a good night for Krelbar, and we'll switch to that night.
Wow.
That's funny. Come on.
Yeah. Hilarious.
All right. Jerry, what's not a good night for you?
I don't give a fuck. Don't call me ever again. It's
exactly.
Fine. Yeah.
Anyone have Asia Carrera's phone number? No, someone just said Asia Carrera. That's a funny story that when me and my buddy walked into World Modeling one time, Jim South looks up and goes, "Anyone of you guys got Asia Carrera's phone number?" We're like, "What?" Just walked in off the street.
You're in a movie. Yeah.
Christy Canyon was in love with this bear named Robin Williams. Bear? He was
Nina
a bear.
Hartley.
Nina.
Oh yes,
Nina
the
Hartley.
one with the glasses, right?
Yeah, she was in Boogie Nights.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pia Zadora? Pia Zadora?
yeah.
Yeah, what was that movie she was in? A Butterfly, something? I forget what that.
She was.
Anyways, guys, we're going to call it a night. We've had a lot of time here. It's 10:15, and I'd like to get a cigar in and then go to bed at a decent hour.
I'll have some roast beef.
No, chicken breast before. No, I actually just ate a bar, so I'll eat after I do that. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. We've had a pretty good crowd. We got up to 50 people, which means that 50 people have nothing to do on a Monday night.
What are you fucking doing on Monday night?
And 30 people right now, 32 people have nothing better to do for a long time on a Monday night, folks. And we're glad to have you here. We love your donations. I'm joking, folks. Nobody gives me a nickel.
No super chats.
No. Yeah, it's so funny that people just don't like giving me money. And I keep telling them, give me all your money. Give me all your money. What was that song? Give me all your... Some Girls by the Stones. What a great record.
Spinal Tap. Give me some money.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys a Stones fan? Stones fans at all?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They had fucking great albums in 5 decades. It's hard to beat them.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
Greatest frontman.
The next two lists,
Top
they ain't
3.
nowhere near the fucking list.
I'm sure they're not.
They're not.
Yeah. No, I believe it. Because those lists are written by hipster douchebags that think like bands like I don't want to say because I already know what's on the list. Yeah, Patti Smith. Oh, have you ever seen Patti Smith in concert? Yeah, I had to stand in the back row because she stunk. Oh, you didn't think she was good? No, I mean literally. She hasn't bathed in 6 years. No, she looks like she stinks. It's something to be said. Listen, if you could tell fucking Ann Wilson from Heart, listen, honey, you got to lose some weight or we're going to fucking stretch the film in the 80s to make you look taller and thinner. Then you could say to Patti Smith, here's a fucking bar of soap. Why don't you put a little makeup on and see if you can fucking get a dick hard in the audience because you're scaring everybody away. The only people that are at this show are the fucking hipster douchebags that have you on their fucking list. That's why there's 5 people.
These lists, I swear, if I was in the room with the guys who made them, I'd be losing my mind like the Moyle. You make these fucking lists, and it's like a shard of glass. These lists are literally the shard of glass that gets in the front.
I fucking love him.
Deep in the shag.
All I have to say to these people that made these lists is, remember the time?
Or my reply would be like Vic Morrow. You just don't get it.
Yeah. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
You don't have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'd like to say to these people that made these lists, remember the time Patti Smith sold out Madison Square Garden? Oh, you don't? No, because she was down the street trying to get 50 people into a club. She's horrible. Get her off your fucking list, asshole. All right, everyone, we thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Good night, everyone.
You don't have to stop. What does it say? It's the old saying, you don't have to go home. But you have to get the hell out. Oh, I got $1.99.
There you go.
I got the Rip Taylor tip. It's the $1.09. Oh, is it $1.98? What was that beauty contest?
Send more money.
God, I miss Rip Taylor. Let me tell you something. In the 70s, why were the homosexuals in the 70s so much happier? Today, it's like they have everything they want and they're angry motherfuckers. We're the LGBTQ, trans, whatever. It's like, all right, relax. Back then, we got a guy running around with a wig on, throwing confetti, having a $1.98 beauty contest. Yeah. That was good stuff. Paul Lynn, fucking
Flip Wilson,
Charles Nelson Riley,
fucking square.
Flip Wilson,
Rock Hudson,
calling Dr. Bombay, It's
unbelievable. Now everyone's angry. Listen, you got everything you wanted. What are you angry for? We're the LB. All right, we get it. What happened when you guys used to run around throwing confetti? How do we stop that? When did that end? Guys, this is a bit. I'm getting no laughs. I need a new Ed McMahon. I need some laughter on my show. Or at least I got to get a laugh box because this is gold. Yeah. You guys in the audience watching at home would be like, this guy is funny when I hear someone laugh after him. All right. Enough of me kvetching. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. I want to thank Dane for being here. I want to thank Joe for being here. And Jerry, I want to thank you for being here. Gents, as always, it was a great time. We'll do it again next week. Very good.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.
Goodbye.